Hi guys, welcome to another How Schmoe Draws. Today's topic is sketching. How do I sketch? Because I've been approached and to maybe do a talk about this. And so yeah, these are my go-to pencils, Color Rays, red and blue. You can get them on Amazon. Scarlet Red is getting sort of rare at the moment. I hope they produce them again because some people sell them for 12 euros one pencil, which is insane because they used to be like a box of 12 pencils. Anyhow, these are my go-to pencils because I really like them, and you can erase them. They are colorful, but you can erase them. And I just like having a colorful sketchbook, and you can also work on top of those with other color, or like with the line art. Then you can sort of key them out by sort of just taking out the color in Photoshop. So that's also very handy. I just like using them. But I'm not talking about the pencils I use. I want to talk about how to hold them. I know that my sketching habit really changed when I started to hold my pencils differently, and the sketches got way better, because I used to hold it like this. This is my standard holding of the pencil, and I still do that way. I always have to remind myself to change the position, because you draw from the wrist this way. It helps you draw from the wrist, but it's better to hold it like this, and then you use your whole arm. So this is like when I niggle around, and this is when I sort of loosen up and get better shapes, especially at the beginning of the drawing, just sort of for the overall quick getting of the shapes. I really recommend holding it differently. But enough talk, let me show you how it's done. So you see me sketching here. I'm starting with the mentioned technique of holding the pencil differently, not my standard way. This way I can block in everything really nicely and put all the shapes where they belong, and it still is such a light way of doing the drawing, so that it is changeable. You can erase it. I don't even mind the wrong lines which also are created here, so that I just sort of work them into the sketch where I can. I mean, obviously there at the neck I erased some because they would be in the white part where there wouldn't be any drawing, but where there's drawing, they usually sort of just end up as part of the sketch. And yes, so still super rough, putting all the shapes together and not bothering about the details yet. And sort of now I know where everything is. I know where the eyes are and everything. Now I change the position of my pencil and start detailing a bit with the other one, because the other technique is super good to get down your sketch, and you get a really pretty light sketch which doesn't bother you. But the other way is just for like important details. It is more precise. So, but there, like with the hair, where it doesn't depend on like where you put the line exactly, there you can just sort of use these really loose and fun strokes, which are just so much easier done with the other holding technique. And so I do the precise work on the eyes while holding the pencil, like probably most of the people do. Most drawers, that's not a word, artists do. And the other way is sort of for getting super loose and nice lines. And also the shading is so good with that technique. So I'm holding the pencil. I'm holding it really flat. It's not like 90 degrees to the pencil, like probably 75 as usual, and then this is like 20 degrees to the pencil, to the paper. So then you're sort of drawing with the flat side more of the pencil And yeah, that's so super nice for shading gently, and yeah, you can get such nice what's the word, transitions, and yeah. So this way of sketching, I mean, sketching is all about edges and your gradients. That's the gradients was the word. And yeah, I use this flat sketching techniques for the gradients and for the super loose sketch lines. And then when detailing a bit more, I switch to the other one. But you can see it, how I always switch back and forth with, and don't sort of stay in one way all the time. Sort of trying to pull the whole drawing together, and not do like only finish the face, because if you just sort of finish one part and the whole and working like sort of working from top to bottom, and sometimes the drawing changes on the way down, because you're getting more loose while you're working longer. So working on the face from the very beginning doesn't really make sense, because you're not as loose then as you are at the end. So that's why it makes sense to sort of work all over the sketch. And I sometimes forget that, because I sometimes also start with the face and then just sort of go from there. But not doing that is always a great achievement, sort of just laying down the complete sketch super roughly, knowing where everything is, and then going into detail. Yeah. And you can see the drawing is coming more and more together, and I'm deepening shadows again with the flat technique, and then cleaning up the edges with the other. I mean, I'm repeating myself, I know, because I'm always going, because it's always just switching back and forth the way you're holding the pencil, and then refining stuff and shading stuff. Having trouble here with the hand from my mum a bit. Turned out, I think I did. First I drew just 3 fingers, and I realized too late, and so I had to stuff in another one, which I didn't really have the room for. Yeah, that happens. But yeah. So let's talk a bit what this drawing is about. Yeah, so since I've basically said everything, sort of like with this just shading. Oh, right, and what I haven't said yet is that this drawing is twice the speed that I'm drawing in. So this sketch took me 20 minutes, and yes, I speeded it up for you twice as fast. But yeah, this sketch is about me and my mum worrying, because yesterday Remos was nearly back to normal. He was running about, he was playing with a friend, and he was a little bit wobbly still. And today he's just sort of not walking right, sort of not bending his knees. And with kids, you never know. He might just sort of be weak and not wanting to walk differently, sort of because he's afraid that he might buckle or something. And that's a bit my hope, because obviously I'll go to the doctor tomorrow if it won't get any better. But yeah, I'm still hoping that it's just maybe the heat making him a bit weak again. But I don't know, he's eating a bit less again than yesterday, but he ate really a lot yesterday, so he might just be not feeling like eating as much today. I don't know, it's just, in a normal circumstance, I wouldn't start worrying yet. But since he's been sick for so long, I am a bit worried, and that's what I'm trying to draw here. It's always pretty therapeutic to be able to draw what's going on in your life, and it always, what I like about drawing what's going on in your life, I mean, obviously I'm sharing a lot here, but I hope I'm not oversharing, but yeah, so much support as I've been getting through the internet, and all the people who get wind of my life and sort of follow me also because they sort of are interested and in what that we're doing. Sort of, it's really kind of, it's helped a lot. It's helped a lot, and I think that since I'm doing these like diary drawings, they are very authentic, and I always know how to draw them, because sometimes you sort of, when you sit there and don't know what to draw, you also don't know how the poses would be and everything. And these drawings, they usually just are so simple to me, because I remember how we just sort of huddled there and watched him together, or like what Remus was doing. And yeah, so that's so cool to be able to sort of talk about this with you guys and my following. So you can see that these are pretty much the final stages, just sort of detailing a bit, adding deeper shades, and sort of giving as much detail as it needs, but there where it doesn't need the details, I just sort of leave them away. I mean, obviously you could do more. Like those glasses my mum's got on her head, she always used them to keep her hair back. Yeah, I could draw proper outlines on them and everything, but since they're not important to the sketch, I just sort of, yeah, it's enough to understand that there are glasses on her head. And yeah, so I hope you liked this video, and that it was helpful to see me sketch and how I go by it. So thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.